Good evening, all of you. Welcome to our Revision IT program. Welcome to the module PLSQL. How are you all? Muthukumaran, Vedant, and who is there from Andheri Center? Good evening, all of you once again. As part of the PLSQL module, in the last class we had a discussion till chapter 4. Chapter 4 we are supposed to continue from a small concept which I supposed to cover that I want to carry out today. Okay. And whoever are there, Muthukumaran, Vedang Milin and Andheri Center, who is the guest login. So could you please type your name who has connected using guest login Andheri Web Center. Can you all click on hand raise and respond with the feedback that you are all there? Yes, Rohan. Please provide your student ID, your email ID and phone number. These three things you provide. Vedant, you are on 8. So Vedant, you no need to provide. Okay, only guest login. I should know the name, student ID and phone number. Okay, you joined using your name only. That is not required. Vedant, I tried to take you on 8, but I could not. I'll try to take you after some time. Meanwhile, I want to interact with Muthukumaran now. Muthukumaran, Tamaram Center, you are on 8. Yes, Muthukumaran, I tried to take you on 8, but you are not accessible. I'm trying to take you once again. No. Rohan, you are on 8.
Yes, sir.
Rohan, you are participating from Andheri Center, right?
Yes, sir.
Why you are not using your student ID? What is the reason?
Sir, I'm not able to log in through the student ID.
Okay. So have you escalated to your GL or to your resident faculty?
Yes, sir. I have told them they'll be doing it by the next session.
Okay. Okay. So are you attending from the beginning?
Yes, sir.
So how many chapters practicals you have completed so far?
Sir, first 3 chapters.
Okay. Fine. Fine, Roshan. Thank you. Fine. So I want to share the content of last topic, whatever we haven't discussed. So this is the one as SQL cursor. Once if we look into the topic of SQL cursor, this is a memory space name it is. Cursor is actually a private memory allocated by the Oracle server. So I want to share a simple example of how a cursor works so that easily you can understand. Yes, Muthukumaran, I will take you after some extent of the discussion, right? Fine. So generally when you are working with Oracle database, certain things would take place. Those are all what I want to share with a small example of the diagram so that easily we can move forward. I am sharing the screen. I will draw a small picture to explain. Then I will move forward to continue the remaining things. Is the screen visible to you all? Manoj? Manoj, screen not shared. Wait. The screen will be shared. Wait for a while. Fine. So you all can see the screen. Screen will be visible to you all. See, I want to draw a small picture to explain SQL cursor. So as you are all aware, the database is simply a repository where data will be stored in the form of tables. So that concept is very clear to us. So when you are working with the database, the data would be stored in the form of tables. These tables would be with some logical relationships exist in the database, right? So this till that extent we learned and we understood about the structures of the database. So as you are querying for the data from the user environment, so here that using the environment, whether the software application or your query analyzer, like using this environment, you are connecting to the database, right? So now here I want to share this example by creating this small one as the part I want to take. Using your workspace, you will connect to the database. So that the one I want to put it as a front end here. So using my workspace, I will be connected, right? So when you are using this workspace to connect to the database, the command whatever you send, that would be stored or that would be sent to the database to perform a task. Like I want to update a record in an employee table. What are all I want to do? I want to do an insert operation, I want to do a delete operation, or I want to do an update operation, right? So when I do these activities, insert, delete, update, so what way these are all will take place, we don't know. But you will get a report as one row updated. So we will get a message as one row updated or one row deleted, okay, or one row inserted. This is the message we will get. One row updated, one row inserted, and one row deleted. Such a way we will get a message. All of you. So now when you are getting this message, how these insertions, updations, deletions are taking place, these are all the things are taking place in a particular location called the memory of the Oracle server. This area of the memory, when you want to keep some information, so insertions, updations, deletions would take place in this memory, right? That would not be in your control. That would not be in your control. Suppose if you see, I want to create a table. ABCD is the table name. There I want to create a column. column 1 number data type, column 2 varchar data type. Fine, 2 columns data. So I want to create this table. I will explain what would happen with the objective of whatever I am explaining. Okay, so Deepak, you came late today. Mahjabin, you are joined late today. Sheldon D'Souza, joining late. Sweta, you also joining late. Right? So there I want to insert the table data. ABCD is the table. Values class, insert into class. Who is there? Guest login Kokatpalli. I did not see you any time in this batch. So, are you a student of this batch? Kokatpalli Center, who connected? I did not see you any time in this batch. Who is there in Kokatpalli? Fine. So values I am inserting. 100 is the number. Value I am inserting as AAA. So these two things I want to do. First I want to create this table. In case if the session expires, again I will create it. Then once again I want to explain this. Cursor I want to explain by explaining this concept. Okay. So first table I am creating, as a dummy table I am creating. So comma. Varchar of 10 characters length. So the table got created. Now I want to insert the data into this table. Okay. So one record I am inserting. Second record I want to change as the 101. Third record I want to insert as 102. Third record I want to insert as 103. So now I want to read the data from select star from ABCD. Right? So you can see all 4 records which I have inserted in that particular table. Just log in Kokatpalli. If you don't share your name and details, fine. So select star from ABCD, the data you can see. Now I want to insert one more row in this table. So I am inserting one more row in this table. So I inserted. That is 104 is the student ID, right? Or any record value. So what is showing it is one row created. It is not showing what row is created. Same manner, when I want to delete from table ABCD, where column 1 equal to 3, 103. That is the record I want to delete it. So when I am going to delete the record from this table, I will get a message as table name ABCD, what the table name I have given, ABCD. Okay, fine. So one row deleted. So row is deleted. Yes, Kumran. No, caps doesn't matter. It is not a case sensitive. Table is not required. So now in this statement also you can see it is showing one row deleted. Same manner I want to update data, update ABCD, where I am updating the table data here. Where column 1 equal to set column 2 equal to MNOP, where column 1 equal to 104. So that record I want to update it. So one row updated. So for update also it is showing one row updated. Now once if you look into the result of these three instructions, one row deleted, one row updated, one row inserted, it is sharing the message which is taking place in the memory. Okay, taken point, it is giving the message of one row updated, one row deleted, one row inserted, which is taking place in the memory. Now if you can give the name to the memory, the name of the memory is called as cursor, right? So assigning name to memory is cursor. Point taken. So that is the one we should understand about the cursor. There I will explain how to use cursor. So I request you all to look into this content, what is there here, whatever I explained. Look into this example, then I will go for everything to explain. Okay. So cursor is a pointer to the private memory allocated by the Oracle server. So that area where these operations are taking place, that area is only a private area for Oracle server. Means Oracle only will use it. It is used to handle the result set of a select statement. So to retrieve the data, order by class, group by class, where class. So those are all the operations which takes place in that particular memory block only. But if you are going to use that memory in your program, there are two different ways you can give a name to that memory block. One is implicit cursor, second one is explicit cursor. At this stage in this chapter, we have only implicit cursor. Create and manage it internally by the Oracle server to process SQL statements. Explicit cursor, you only should create it. Okay. So the example, once if you look into this, implicit cursor is the Oracle cursor. Explicit cursor can be created by the programmer. That is the point here. Can I know from all of you? Fine. So understood, Muthukumaran. So who are clicking on minus? I can say who are all there. The guest login Andheri Web Center who have joined late. Don't say that type of click I don't accept because you joined late to the session. Harsh Nashani, is it clear to you? Sheldon D'Souza. Right? So whoever are there from the beginning, they only should respond for my question because your system closed. Yes, whatever the reason, but you please analyze the condition. So I cannot come from the beginning, right? And you should understand whatever the maximum extent you can follow the session. But others, can I know from all of you who are there from the beginning? Click on plus if you are clear with this, right? So positively they are responding. So when you are using implicit cursor, there are three different attributes to use for the cursor. One is SQL found, SQL not found, SQL row count. Okay, these three are the cursors. I want to share an example of understanding these three. Okay, very easily you all can analyze it. SQL found, when a record is found in the select statement, it would be true. Then at least one record when you are selecting for values, select star from table where class I mentioned. So where condition is matched, then that will be true. When you are trying to read some data from the table, if no record is matched, then it is false. So found, not found, and row count. So number of rows affected with the query. 3 rows affected, 5 rows affected. So that is a row count. For this, I want to share an example to make it very clear, but conditionally I can explain this statement so that easily you can follow it. Okay. So 1 minute, I'm sharing the screen. For those who are joined little bit late today, they may find some difficulty of this topic. So others, you can easily follow this. I'm sharing an example with this query statement. Okay, this program. So anyhow, once if you follow this example, first I want to share the example with a like your table, customer table. So I want to read the data from the customer table. Let me go back and let me run this once again. So customers table. So you can see this is the customers table data, right? So in this table, I want to work with this for defining a small cursor. The role of the cursor here I want to explain, then we can easily understand what I want to do. Customers table data, I want to update the customer salary. When I am updating the salary of customers, here whatever the data we have, if the record is found, it has to show the record as found. If the record is not found, it has to show record not found. In case of any rows are updated, it has to show those are the rows are updated. So that way I want to share this example working on customers table. Okay. So this SQL statement I request you all to analyze, or else I want to make much more simple example to make it much more clear. Fine. But here I have mentioned everything. SQL not found I mentioned, SQL row count I have mentioned, SQL found is also mentioned. So let me explain this one after one. We have a variable, declare variable row numbers, number data type of 5 characters length, like number of 5 digits. Begin update employee, set salary equal to salary plus 1000. So this statement will update the customer salary or employee salary. So here I want to take for employee table, not customer table. 1 minute. So employee salary. Salary is there, you can see here 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. If SQL not found, then it has to display none of the salaries were updated. If no record is updated, actually it doesn't show what has happened internally. But now you are using a conditional attribute, SQL not found attribute. If no record is updated, it has to show none of the salaries were updated. Else is SQL found. If any record is updated, it has to show the number of rows whatever are affected. So then it is showing the number of rows are affected, row count is to be passed into the variable rows variable whatever you declare. That we should display. These are the employees record has been updated. So actually when you are executing it, I already shared, it shows only these 3 statements. 1 row updated, 1 row deleted, 1 row inserted. But now these are all the things which takes place internal memory. To that memory, whatever the attributes you are using, these are all implicit cursor attributes. SQL not found, then output. SQL found, then how many rows are affected, we are storing into a variable. If you write this condition here, how many rows will be affected? Can I know from all of you? With this update statement, how many rows will be updated? It's a SQL update statement. Very good. Muthukumaran, Shweta, Very good. 8 rows will be updated. Exactly. So there is no condition, so all rows will be updated. Very well. So now I am taking this. Generally it shows that 8 rows are affected, but now here if none of the rows are affected, it shows none of the salaries were updated. Yes, Shayan, I said I generally forget it. Okay. So what the problem here is, set server output on. Fine. So now it is showing salaries for each employees are updated. Shayan. Fine. So like what is the reason here? In case it is not updated, so I want to write it update employee. I removed one name from there, so there is an error. So employee, again I am executing. One more time the employee salaries have been updated. So it is showing inside it has found that number of records whatever are updated using SQL found attribute. Point taken. All of you please respond, and we will discuss about explicit cursor in the next extent of the topics. So this was actually the last class topic. I continued. That was the part of the topic we did not complete. So I continued today's first objective is understanding cursor. And I can say a few members have joined late. Sheldon D'Souza and one from Andheri West Center, one guest login, still disabled state. Shata joined late. Deepak Roy, can I know from you? So I hope whoever are there from the beginning, they were continued and they comfortably understood this, right? Naveen, have you joined just now? Naveen, adjust your camera. Borvali Center. Naveen, you are on air. Naveen, Sabasti, adjust your camera. If you are able to hear me, then class also you can hear. If you can't hear me, you can't hear class also, right? Borvali Center, Naveen. Fine.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. But your name I always read as Muchkumaran. You are using someone's life.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how long you will use that? Why you are not using it?
So actually the center told me that I'll get my ID after a week or two. So after I'll get my ID, I'll log in with my ID. I don't want to miss the lecture, so I'm continuing with the temp ID.
That doesn't matter, no problem. You continue. Only the thing.
And I am.
Okay. So you please.
Sir, I am from Vasai Center. I am from Vasai Center, Mumbai.
Oh.
You can see Tambaram.
You please do one thing.
Yes, sir.
Write a handwrite. I am Shayan. I am from Vasai Center, Mumbai. My student ID is so and so. You please write it down now only. Handwrite.
Okay.
Write your name, your student ID, your center. 3 things. Okay. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we had a discussion on implementing SQL statements in PLSQL, implementing PLSQL, the SQL statements, CML statements, select statements. So how you can combine with PLSQL? We had a discussion in last class, day before yesterday, and we continued with like cursors as part of the same session. Okay. Fine. Thank you, Shayan. Fine. So now the next objective is the chapter 4. We should move into chapter 4. chapter 4 completed, we should move into chapter 5, writing control structures. So what is your idea of control structures? So the other name of the control structures in general programming, I'll write it as control of flow language. Okay, here I'm writing as control of flow. So what is the language control of flow? Depository, you please add your student ID also. So control of flow, condition constructs, loop constructs. So this is called as control of flow. Okay. All of you, is it clear? So like if construct, loop constructs, how you define in PLSQL is the objective of this session. Okay. So when you start understanding the PL, procedural language itself is some control of flow constructs like conditional constructs, if construct, if else construct, nested if construct, such type of constructs. Yes, debauchery I will show, wait for a while. Okay. So identify the use and types of control structures, construct an if statement, use case statements and case expressions, construct and identify loop statements using control of conditional construct statements guidelines. These are the objectives. Like how you define a conditional construct in PLSQL is the objective. Okay. So when you start understanding PLSQL, construct, if construct, if then else construct, if then else if construct, if then else if construct. So these are all extension of the conditional construct. Apart from that, we have a case construct also. So that is called a switch case construct. Then we have looping constructs, which allows us to perform repetitive tasks in programming. So loop constructs are for loop construct, only a loop construct, three different category of the looping. One is loop construct, one is for construct, one is while construct. These three give the same result as repetitive process. Okay, these three give the same result as repetitive process. So how you can understand the repetitive process, that I will share with you all. Okay. Now these three are the objectives, and I will explain what way each construct will be different from other constructs. Fine. Any questions? All of you. So this chapter deals with the controlling flow of execution. So first objective in this is understanding if construct. Simple programming of understanding if construct is our first objective. I'm sharing the screen to explain more about this. One minute. Right. So Chennai, they are also there in C#. So these constructs are there in every programming language. So generally, when you study about the programming languages, computer programming is a certain conditionally validating the values, repetitively performing the task and again is common in every programming language. So the same thing here we are going to explore. If generally we use the condition construct, if construct for decision making. So the syntax of the if construct I want to share here. You all can see the syntax of the if construct. Then we'll go for other things to understand. So I'm sharing the example of the if construct here so that we can move easily for other things to discuss. So once if you look into the conditional construct here, the statement of the condition construct I want to share. So this one you please check the condition, what way that mentioned the condition here. We declared a variable as age. Okay. The age is the variable and we initialize the value as 31 as the age of the person. So begin is the starting block and it's the ending block. In between, we are using a construct called if construct. If age less than 11, then I'm a child. So there is no alternative path in this. If it started as an open statement and if it ended as an open statement here. Point taken, expecting response from all of you. It started as an open statement and if ended as an open statement there. All of you, please analyze this. If you have any question, you can ask me. So, in case if the condition is true, it returns a value as true here. So, the result of this condition is, it yields a conditional result as true. So, as and when the condition becomes true, then the control enters into the conditional body. So, the value, whatever is mentioned here, that is true. So, then it goes into the statement and it executes this statement here, right? There is no default value for if. If is not a variable to initialize, right? You initialize a variable as the number, right? This is the variable. You initialize the variable with a value. Then you are checking. Point taken. All of you please understand this. If you have any question, you can ask me now. Any questions? If you have any question, you can ask me so that I will move forward to explain the remaining things. So if you don't have any question, I will move forward to continue. Okay. I will share that example also to you so that we can move forward to discuss more about this. Many more examples we can discuss in this. So the same thing I copied here. We declared a age so here this is the program I copied. Now I try to explain to you. Debashree, you please try to analyze. If is a conditional construct. So I can't teach again the conditional construct again, but I will give a basic idea of what is that. Generally in programming, we use if construct for decision making, right? This construct we use for decision making. What is decision making here? Suppose you purchased a product worth of 10,000. You are eligible to get a discount of 10%. If the total is 10,000, you will get a discount of 10%. So it's based on a condition, based on the value, satisfying the condition, then only you are eligible to get the discount. So decision making is possible using conditional constructs. So that is the one conditional construct how you can define in programming. So using if construct. So if is a construct, okay, is a keyword. So this keyword how to use is the one we are going to understand, okay. So how this keyword can be used. So you declare a variable name is like my age. If the age is less than 11, it shows that I am a child. So that is the statement given in your exam textbook to understand what the way you can use a conditional construct. So when you execute it, it shows the age. So I am placing the cursor here, I am executing it. So I want to share one more thing here, I did not write. Fine. So SQL procedure successfully completed. And then is the age less than 11? So if the condition is true, then it enters into the conditional body. But the condition is not true, so it is not entered into the conditional body. Point taken. So what I want to use here, I want to use an else path. Else in the sense, if this condition is not satisfied, then it goes to an alternative path of its execution. So that else path I copied here. So I want to share that example once again. So the same program I extended, that I try to make you all clear. So if condition is not satisfied here, then it doesn't enter into the conditional body. But here, if the condition is not satisfied, then it moves to else path. It has to show I am not a child, right? So this is the one I am doing here. I am not a child. So then here, if you execute it, you will get a different output. I am not a child. Point taken. Because age is 31, it is not less than 11, so it is showing I am not a child. Point taken. All of you please respond. Fine. Very good. So I don't need to keep multiple conditions here. I want to keep only one particular type of a conditions, but alternative conditions I want to put. What are alternative conditions here? So you can see what are the alternative conditions mentioned in the above statement. So in the above statement you can see one is if construct. That block you can analyze here. If age less than 11, it shows you are a child, like I am a child, right? So that is the first condition. If this condition is not satisfied, we are checking one more condition. If age less than 20, it should show I am young. Fine. If this condition is not satisfied, it should show is less than 30. Else, if again a different condition. Else, this is the alternative for all. So I am always young is the one. So that's the way these are the different constructs, one after one you can define. So those are all alternative conditions, not alternative statements. Okay. Can I know from all of you? I hope you all have understood what is alternative condition here. Can I know from all of you, please? So I want to share the same example to you all practically so that we can move forward. Multiple conditions, exactly. Sean, those are all multiple conditions. So these multiple conditions I want to place it. So first condition, if this is satisfied, it shows I am a child. Second condition, if first one is not satisfied. Second condition, if it is not satisfied, third condition. Third one is not satisfied, then fourth. If any one of the given condition is not satisfied, then else path as an alternative, right? So this is the one I want to put a copy here, copy it, right? Now here at the top I want to place one more statement. Instead of typing again, I am copying this statement here. So now I execute it. So last one I want to close. So I'm in my 30s because it's the 31. First one is not satisfied. I'm in my 30s, is that is less than 40, that is not less than 30. So this is the one as satisfied in the given example. So now I am sharing that example once again. The result also you can see here. Fine, multiple conditions. Shayan, I hope you understood. All of you, can I know from all of you, please? Make it fast. Fine. Same manner, the first example you take, this is the example. I want to give a different style, this example. Shayan, yes, Shayan, very good. Right. So once if you are understanding, it would be encouraging to us. So I have mentioned this again. So the same statement I copied, this is the program I copied again. Now here in this program, leave the top one and leave the bottom one, only take this example, okay? In this, we have a variable initialized to the, we have variable my age and value is initialized to that variable. If there is no value is initialized, what would happen? I want to know from all of you. So can anyone respond to this? If I don't initialize any value to the variable, what it would be? It would be like a null value. So if I use null in condition, I'm removing this 31 from here. Okay. Now I want to execute it. So if null encounters, so it is moving into I'm not a child, alternative, right? So if the variable doesn't have a value, it can't check anything here. Suppose if the variable has a value as equal to 5, 5 is less than 11, so that I want to mention here as the value equal to 5, then the first one will be executed. I'm a child, that you can see here. But if no value is initialized to the variable, that is null. So null never be checked as a condition. So it comes to the down as this is the value, as alternatively it displays else path construct, else path statement, whatever you have written. Fine, that is the one. I hope you all have understood this program. All of you please respond. Yes, yes. Yes, Shayan and Kankurdachi. Devotri, yes. Right, very good. So who joined just now? I can take. So who is there from Pretoria Street, Kolkata? So see, the conditionally, if no one is there, okay, fine. So now we shall go for case statements and case expressions. Case statements and case expressions. What are all the case statements and case expressions I want to share with you all? So case and case expressions are different ways we can understand. I'm sharing a screen to explain the concept of case expressions to you. So case expressions are option-based expressions, conditions, option-based conditions. Option-based conditions is nothing but, so what is that option-based? Generally you see, when grade is A, that is equal to excellent, right? Equal to excellent, right? when grade is A equal to excellent. So that is the one option. So I want to mention certain other options also here. When grade is B, then it can be something else, right? That is very good. And when grade equal to C, then that I want to mention it as good. So that is the grade C. If there is no grade has been achieved, if it is not A, B, C, anything, then it will be something like else there is no grade. Point taken, there is no grade. So that means what here? You have multiple options to be selected. When your grade is A, that is excellent. So these are all different option-based selections. Press 1 to get the information of the availability of a flight. Press 2, know the status of the starting time. Like press 3 to cancel the booked ticket. So that is actually an option-based like checklist. Yes, Shayan, right? So this type of concept is called as case expressions. Means one value will match with multiple available values. Match with multiple available values. For this, I want to share an example so that easily you can understand more about this. So this example, I request you all to consider. Look into the example here. Set verify on is a statement to display what was the old and what is the new of whatever displayed. That I will show it to you. Remaining things, once if you look into the example, you have a variable declared. This is a character data type variable it is. The grade, whatever you are going to enter, that would be taken as an uppercase grade. So if I enter a small case here, that would be taken as uppercase. So that we are using, I entered a value as small. But what would happen when I enter the value? This is a substitution variable, take the value, and that would be converted into uppercase. That is the variable value of the V grade. Then appraisal is the another variable. Okay, I will explain. Shayan, you are not aware of SQL part, I hope, right? In SQL we have substitution variables. So this ampersand is called as a substitution variable. Substitution variable. What is that? It would prompt you to enter a value. When you use that variable, it would prompt you to enter a value. Point taken. So how it will be, it works. First I want to share with you. Then I will go forward to explain that. So I'm sharing the screen. Then I will go back and I will explain the concept once again. Okay? Or else I will put it here. Then easily you can understand. So this is the one where when you use the grade, it would open like this as the grade to be entered. So that is the purpose of this substitution variable. Substitution variable. So you are using a substitution variable which is there in your SQL part. Okay. Point taken. All of you, please respond. Yes, Shayan. So even though you can easily understand, if you run this using the same program, so the substitution variable, whatever we are using at the top, so to read a value from the user, the substitution variable is creating an option to be entered here. If I enter A, I'm clicking on continue. So then when I click on continue, A is appraisal excellent is the output generated, right? So taken A as the input. So I'm entering B as my input. Even if you type is lowercase b, that would be taken into uppercase to match with the value. B appraisal is very good, it is showing, right? So now you all can see the program, whatever I explained here. This program, whatever we have defined, the variable what grade we declared as a char data type, and whatever the value entered by the user will be taken using the grade. It can be anything. It can be grade or it can be my number. Anything you can use here. There is no rule that you should use as it as grade. My value. Fine. So my value as mentioned. So when I enter it, then it would be taken as my value. See that? My value. So then if I change it as grade, it would be converted as grade only. So now you can see it's like a grade. So that is the purpose of this name, right? So to explain that, I am doing this program once and again. So then if you enter a value, that would be taken as a case value. That would be taken as a case value. So V grade is the variable. Whatever you enter will be copied into V grade. V grade is the variable grade, will match with the case. When case is A, then it should show as excellent. When case is B, very good, and C, good. In case if you enter something else, other than these three, like a grade can be entered as K. So there is no such grade available. So it should show, 1 minute. Here the properly we did not close it. So now I entered grade K, I entered. Okay. So then continue. Appraisal, no such grade. So it is showing appraisal, no such grade. Reason, that is not matching with the any case given over there. So only 3 cases we have given. If you enter A, B, C, these 3 will be satisfied. Any one of these 3. If you enter something else, it moves to else path. So at the time of displaying, we displayed as the grade. You can see exactly as grade here. And whatever the value you entered, which is stored in the variable grade, that is stored and displayed here as variable. And then that is concatenated with the variable value as appraisal. So appraisal, variable appraisal is no such grade. Point taken. So that is the variable appraisal is the result of whatever it returns. Point taken. All of you please respond so that we can move forward. Not clear. Who is not clear? They can ask me now. Shayan? For whom it's not clear, they can ask me. If you have any questions, that is not wrong. If you have any question, you can ask me. Where you have put the value for A, B, C. There is no value for A, B, C. Okay. When your choice is A, it is showing as excellent. Excellent will be copied into the appraisal. Right. When you enter the choice as B, then it will show as very good. If you put ampersand appraisal, you can put, doesn't matter. Only the thing to be appeared as output, Shayan. Here it can be any name, is nowhere related. Okay? It can be anything. I already showed that point to you. So the other example for the same here, instead of writing multiple cases as A, B, C, I have written A as my case construct here. One is A. So that once if the value entered by you is A, then it would be excellent. But we want to give the same grade for B and C. Then it has to show as it is good. Otherwise, no such grade. Point taken. So this is the set case expressions is, if the user choice is B, it would be satisfied. Else if the user choice is C, then it would be satisfied. So multiple case constructs we have passed into a single when clause. When, else, when, then, else is the way you can write the case construct. All of you, is it clear to you all? Any questions? If we are mentioning the grade, then why we put ampersand sign? Sweta Bansal. So you are conflicting with the example of Sweta Bansal. You are on it. Sweta, did you complete SQL part of Oracle or not?
Yes.
So in SQL, we have a concept select star from Untitled. I want to share the screen. You look into this. Select star from employees table data. Shweta, are you there? I'll take you once again on air. Then you can respond once again. Where employee ID equal to, I'm writing ampersand EID. So this is the way I have written, right? So instead of this, I copied this statement here. Then I executed. Wait, it is still in process. Once this is done, I will show it to you. So I executed once again. Now what is asking? Employee ID 100 I entered. So the where class value 100 taken, then it has displayed the value of employee 100. Shweta, I hope you understood the purpose of this ampersand. The same thing we have used in your query statement here. Instead of entering a value as your appraisal, we are taking here as this is the grade. Can I know from you, please? All of you, please respond. I hope you all have understood this. So this is called as a substitution variable. This substitution variable we can use in many different ways. Yes, Shayan. So I have used it here as an argument to the where class. So when I use it, then when I execute it, it takes the value in runtime as like a real program. So I want to pass a value as 105 as employee ID. So then the result is it has to show the employee table data, right? It has to show the employee table data to me. So I executed. Now there was some error. So I want to go back and I want to execute once again. Action was performed, the ID. So execute it. So now I want to enter 104 as the employee ID. So it has to show 104 employee table data, right? So that's the way I can use it for runtime value passing to the construct. Expecting response from all of you. So you can do one more hand-on practicals of the case construct given in your courseware, additional case construct. In textbook you can do one more case construct, okay? So I'm showing a truth table here. So logic table, when you are using these Boolean expressions, when you are using AND, when you are using OR, when you are using NOT, okay? If you are combining two different expressions, then use AND. So how do you write it? So I'm writing here is num1 greater than 100 and num2 equal to 200. So what are the two different conditions I mentioned here? If num1 is 100 and num2 equal to 200 means I have mentioned two expressions. What are the two expressions? One is expression, one is the expression. So when I combine two expressions with AND, both the things should be true. So true, true, true and true are true. True and false are false. True and null are null. Okay? Point taken. False and true are false. False and false are false. False and null are false. Same null with true, null. Null with false is false. Null with null is null. Fine. So assume that num1 is 10. So I want to change this example here. Num1 is 10. So but conditionally what you mentioned here, num1 greater than 100. But if you use or here instead of this, so any one of the condition can be true. Fine. So num1 is 10, num2 is 200, assume that, but expression is num1 greater than or equal to 100. So when you use the or clause here, true, true, first statement can be true, second can be false. True or true. So num1 is 10, actually first one is not true. So true and true or true can be true. True and false also can be true. So that you please analyze. First one is false, second one is true. But true and false also can be true only. And true and null is also true. So likewise, the false and true is true. Any one of the condition can be true over there. In not, when you go for not true is false. Not false equal to true. Not null equal to null. So if you are finding any confusion, it is no way related to Oracle. It is related to a programming languages, right? So if you are finding difficulty in this, anyhow we will discuss practically some of the things. But my point here is, you are all missing one small general concept of the truth table of your and or not operators, right? So that why you missed it in SQL. Is there in the SQL first initial chapters only? Can I know from all of you? Is it clear? Yes, Sean. So those who can recall your learning of the previous, like in a SQL course, you studied those things. It is not the first time I am teaching those things, right? All of you, please respond to this. So I want to share some more things as a part of the continuation. I want to explain repetitive process statements. Repetitive process. Repetitive process is iterative constructs or iterative control, loop constructs. There are three types of looping constructs we have. One is basic loop, one is for loop, one is while loop. So loop, if you take, you want to perform certain instructions to be performed again and again. So how do you use these loops? I want to share. So basic loop we can take. It doesn't mention anything as it is a for loop or as it is a while loop. Simple statement as it is a loop. So the keyword is loop. It allows you to start the loop only with a keyword loop. Statement 1, statement 2, statement 3 you can write and exit the loop when the condition is true. So that is what we shall see with a small example. Then we shall move forward for understanding more about this. Okay. Point taken. Can I know from all of you? Is it clear? So it is a general loop construct. I want to share this general loop construct as part of this repetitive process. Simple basic loop construct. I want to create a small program so that we can move forward for understanding. I'm sharing the screen. So I want to write it here, then I will take you all to type and execute it. Basic loop is not a for loop, but when you consider that we have loop is the one, while is one, for is one. So three different looping constructs we have. These are the looping constructs I want to share with you all, how those are all will work. Sharing the screen, 1 minute. Now I want to share that example to you, one small example of the basic loop. So in this example, I want to declare a variable. Variable, as you required, you can declare. X is the variable, is the number data type. I want to initialize the value to that variable. So X is the number data type. I want to initialize as the value 10. Fine. So I want to write a statement begin, and I want to keep a statement as end also here. Begin and end, two things, where the program starts and where the program ends. In between, I want to write loop. I did not mention anything here, and I want to mention end loop also. So variable you declare, this is not the part of this. Okay, top one is not the part, just I mentioned that types of loops. Declare a number variable as the variable name X is the number data type. Okay, the number data type, and begin is the program begin part and program end part. So here I want to write a statement. So I want to copy instead of typing everything. So I want to take this entire method I want to take. I want to display the value of my variable. Okay, so I am displaying the value of the variable before the program starts. Then I want to perform a repetitive task. So we did not mention any condition so far. X equal to X plus, I want to mention X plus 10. So that means how many times the construct would run. In this process, X value will be added to the existing value of the X. Initially, X value we have initialized it as 10. 10 plus 10, 20. 20 plus 10, 30. Then it will be 40. Then it will be 50. Then it will be 60, 70. Likewise, it would be incremented in the program continuously. Because you mentioned it as a loop. Yes, exactly. Shayan, you mentioned as infinite loop. Exactly. But I want to mention a condition, as and when the X value is reached to 50 and above 50, X greater than 50, when it is crossing 50, then I want to stop it. So when I want to stop it, exit I am using, so then it would be stopped as and when it reaches to 50. Fine. So as you mentioned the condition here, end if I am using here. end if, then end loop, right? End loop, then I want to put this statement. After ending of the loop, I want to mention this output, and I want to after exit the value of the x. So I'm writing after exit. After exit, the x value x is, then we have concatenated with the value of original value of x. So that is the way we have written a basic loop here. So this entire statement I am copying, I am placing here. I want to write set server output on. So then I execute it. Programmatically, if it doesn't run again, we shall try again. Okay. So now I executed. End loop error is there. Okay. End loop error is I did not terminate it. So end loop I terminated now. You can see this program. End loop, and I did not terminate end if also. So both I terminated. I did not terminate end also. So that also I terminated. So it is showing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. After exit, the value of the x is 60, because after exit, incrementation was continued. So then end, it was point taken. All of you, it is not a while loop, it is not a for loop. Yes, Shayan. All of you, please respond. Any questions? What is that minus? Why you are clicking? Who clicked on this? You ask me if you have any question. No choice in our class not to understand. Okay. If you have any question, you can ask me, please. All of you, any question? I am here in front of you. If you have any question, you can ask me. After the class ends, if you go with a doubt, it never be resolved. Again tomorrow at center only you can ask. Now I am available. You can query me. No? So I consider that you understood everything. Then I want to convert this program into a small conceptual program so that easily we can move forward. This I want to change it as a while loop program. Shian, if we put the condition before end loop, when what will happen? So why not? You can do an experiment of this small logic, what you are thinking. So you want to keep condition before the end loop. Okay. This condition before end loop only we mentioned. That is the one I request you to analyze. Wherever it should be there, there only you should write it, right? So once if the program is started, once if it is incrementing the value of the variable, so whenever it reaches to 50 and it is crossing above 50, then you are exiting, right? So that you should write inside that body before if only, right? Fine. So I want to use the same program, but I want to use it for a different purpose. So now I want to go for while loop construct. Small while loop construct we shall see. So we shall declare a variable x as a number type. I want to use it as 20 only. So I don't want to mention these many. I want to remove those many things from here. Begin. So I want to use while. So while is a keyword. I'm using while as the keyword here. My variable x less than 20. So my variable value is 10. Or else I want to mention it 0. Then I want to mention it 10. 0 to less than 10 in the sense total 9 times it runs, right? Fine. So I want to write loop. While x less than 10, loop has to start. When the loop is started, we have mentioned, so the value of the variable x I want to write. Value of x is, that is the one we have mentioned here. Then I want to add my x variable x equal to x plus 1. X equal to x plus 1. Then I want to terminate my loop also. End loop. Point taken, that I want to close it. Well, x less than or equal to variable declared initialized with 0, and x is the while loop construct conditionally we mentioned. So then I want to run this loop construct here. I'm sharing the screen to you all. So this is the while loop construct. Page is not loading sometimes. The end is not terminated, again as usual, a mistake. So value of x is 0, value of x is 1, value of x is 2, 3, 4, 5. So you all can see then how it is been incremented, the variable values. Okay. All of you please respond. Fine. So syntactically you can analyze the difference with while and loop construct. Okay, while and loop both are there. Yet you can see both at a time. Can you scroll please? Yes, I scrolled it. Make it fast. The output is there in front of you. The same program I mentioned over there. Output also you can see here. Value of x is 0, value of x is 1, value of x is 2. Shian, what you are thinking? You can see here the value of x is, then the x value is displayed first time as it's 0. But next x value is incremented to 1. Initially x is 0, x less than 10 is 2. Then as long as the x value is satisfying with the given condition, loop would start. But while always holds a true or false return, right? So the same thing I want to change it to a for loop construct. Same to same program, I want to change it into a for loop construct. Right? So I copied it here. Just I want to change it into a for. I don't want to keep it as while here. I want to remove it. I want to remove it, and I don't want to keep any other things here. This also I want to remove it. So in the begin block, I want to put a for loop construct. For loop construct is very easy. X in 10 to 20. So I want 10 to 20. Then LOOK. So the colon or dot is representing the start point and end point of generating the numbers. So I want to share this example with the execution result so that easily you can understand it. So now you can see again the same result you can find. So what we have mentioned here, 10 dot dot 10 dot dot, that is called as actually the loop construct. When you are mentioning it, the loop construct is dot dot representing is a label. Okay, so initial value and final value of the counter, initial value and final value of the counter. So I am giving the explanation on this. So dot dot dot, when you use, before the dot you can see that is the initial value. So how I am mentioning that, for the syntax you can see x in initial value to final value. So initial value is 10 to final value is 20, right? All of you please respond if you are clear with this. Yes, Shian responded as it's clear. So instead of this, I want to use one more construct. Okay, I want to use, for x in we generally mention, so I want to go for x in reverse 10 to 20 loop. So now I want to change it. So what happened here? The value returned and reverse 20, 19, 18, 17. Likewise, the values are reversed. Expecting response from all of you. It will start from 20 exactly, because it is displaying in descending order. Any questions? Why we declared 0 then? Why we declared 0? Where did I declare 0? 10 to 20. So this number is not required here. If you don't use, no need to use, because we have used it as the previous example that I left it. Okay? I removed it. That was the previous example. I removed that, Shweta. Okay. Any questions? All of you please respond. If you have any question you can ask me. Dot dot stands for, first dot represents the step value, second dot represents the next value. So the first one is the lower bound and the last one is the upper bound. So that is the syntax of the lower bound representation, upper bound representation. 10 as the lower bound, 20 as the upper bound. No rule to take only 10 and 20. Any value you can take. Give me 1 second of time. I hope you all have understood. Any more questions? And we have one more thing in this to represent nesting of loops also. We can write nesting of loops. I want to take the same thing. If this is clear, I will go for the last example of this looping construct, is nesting of loops. nesting of loop labels. So nesting of loop labels is an important and interesting approach it is. Okay. So writing one loop construct inside the another loop construct. For that we need to use some labels. So double angular brackets are called as a label. So outer loop should be with a name, inner loop should be with a name. So that I want to share it with an example so that we can move forward to understand more about this, right? The same thing I'm taking the example of the previous program, but I want to recreate it as it's a new program. Fine. In the declarative section, I want to declare some variables. So I'm declaring a variable as I is the number data type, okay, of one character or one element size. So I want to declare one more variable. The variable is j. J is the another variable, ij. Fine. So begin. Then I want to represent a particular block. Shian, what is your question? Can we use loop, while loop at the same time? You can combine in case of multiple things, but it would increase the complexity of a programmer understanding level, and it would create a complexity in program structure also. So you can write it based on your requirement. So that is nesting of loops, right? Independently you don't write. You will write one inside another. That can be any category of the loop. For is the good approach, not while. Nesting of loops is only with a for is advisable, right? So j is number type of 1. So two variables. Begin, I want to mention an outer loop there. So I'm using two angular brackets. Fine. So then I'm using angular brackets. I want to define a name for this here. Outer loop. So that is the name I mentioned, as this is the outer loop. So this is the name. It's called as label. So I don't want to use reverse here. So outer loop, I want to mention for I in. I is my variable. I in 1, 2, 3. I in 1, 2, 3 loop. Fine, all of you. So I want to go for one more label. This I want to write it as inner loop. Inner loop. Inner loop is one inside another. For j in, I wrote it j in 1, 2, 3 loop. Right? J in 1, 2, 3 loop. So one loop inside another loop. But here in the put line, I want to change this entire statement and I want to write it differently. So the values of the I want to display, and the values of the j also I want to display. Point taken. So I is, I wrote it I is, then I want to put a colon, there I want to close it, then I want to concatenate it with the value of I. So that is one statement. If you want to write, you can write in a different output line. So I am writing again, sorry, I want to write the same statement. Then I can put it here. Then j is, then I can write it as j. So I and j. Then work is not completed. End loop. Here you should mention the name of your label. What is my label? Inner loop should be ended first, not outer loop. So inner loop I selected. End loop, the label name. End loop, outer label also. End loop, outer label. That is outer loop. Point taken. Inner loop, outer loop. So I want to copy this, then we shall see how it would run. I'll show that once this is run. So you can see how this being executed. I is 1, j is 1. I is 1, j is 2. I is 1, j is 3. Because inner loop is incrementing, outer loop is only 1 as long as the inner loop is incrementing, right? That never gets any change. So first 3 if you take, I value will be always 1 only, because once if this condition is true, then it enters into the loop body. Then it displays the I value and j value. Our I value always will be 1, but j is the first run, j is 1. I is always 1, j increments. I is 1, j increments. So this is the first block, right? So then again I will be 2, j will be 1, and I will be 2, j will be 2, I will be 2, j will be 3. Then again I will be 3, j is 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. Reason is, if you look into this, initially I value is 1. So when I is 1, it entered into this inside. Always it displays I is 1 and j only will be incremented. Once if it is done, it goes out to the outer loop. Then it comes to the second value of the I. So then I will be 2, then j will be 1. I will be 2, j will be 2. I will be 2, j will be 3. So that the way second time increment. Then it goes up. Then I is 2. But j is 1. J is equal to 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. So that the way it executes. Point taken. Expecting response from all of you. So I hope you found it very clearly, you understood about this. Yes. Right. So today you have one cycle test. Have you seen your schedule? Do you have CT today? All of you, please respond. You have one cycle test today. CT1. Yes. I mentioned in your today afternoon I tried to connect for a cloud consultation, but I did not see. You have to check. Shian. So those who have exactly in this batch and some are not there, Shian, you are not in this batch, and others some are not there in this batch. They may not access the cycle test 1 today. But I request you all to connect to nitstudent.com portal and try to complete your cycle test. It is based on the first 3 chapters I wrote in your group also. Try to access that and try to complete it, so that the level of 1 will be completed. So we have completed 5 chapters so far, and we will have cloud consultation. In the cloud consultation we discuss about more on PLSQL fundamentals, and we have 2 different courseware kits also. Next chapter we will discuss about working with composite data types. Fine. So that is the next chapter objective. And when do we have the class again? Can I know from all of you? One joined just now. Yes, Monday. Fine. I hope you all have understood today's session, and fine. So spend remaining 20 to 30 minutes of time to complete your CT based on first 3 chapters. Then you all can leave for today. So session would start exactly 5:30 on Monday. So I request you all to join for session on time. So if you join late, if you expect to be discussed again, it's not possible all the time. So please be available on time on Monday. Thank you all. Thanks for your participation for today's session. Thank you, Shayan. Very nice day. And good night, all of you. Thank you all.